Hello everyone, welcome back. Well, we've got another belly dance one for you. I want to introduce you to Roz.
Hi Cliff.
Hi Roz.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Roz, now actually I've never asked you this. So what is the proper title? So Roz runs
Shimmying Flames Belly Dance.
Yes. So you run it. You're the owner, manager.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
I'm the one-stop party shop.
Got it. So my question is, how did this all start?
Okay. Well, I was heavily involved in competition ballroom dance, and after years and years and years, children came along, and my husband, we were dancing together, first child. We danced up until the nth moment. Had him drag me around until the day I was due, in fact. And then we went back to the dancing. Then number 2 came along and he said, I'm done. I don't want to do that anymore. So I looked for another form of dancing that I could do on my own. And my sister in Queensland had been doing belly dance. I'd seen her videos from her school concert. I thought that looked like a lot of fun. I loved Middle Eastern music. We'd been to Egypt just for a holiday, so pre-belly dancing, with no imagination that I'd do belly dance. And I was one of those weirdos that loved the Arabic music that was playing in the taxi. I bought some music. Dare I say, they were cassette tapes. Anyway, so
showing your age there.
I know, right? And then, so I sought out a teacher. And my husband introduced me to the teacher that he had met.
Okay.
That was Meredith. And I started having lessons with Meredith. I kept the ballroom dancing going. He went off and did karate. But so I was doing both the ballroom dancing, medals with my teacher, started the belly dancing with the thought that the ballroom dancing would stop and then I would still have something to carry on with. As it turned out, both kept going. He came back into the ballroom dancing, so that for me actually never stopped. Both escalated, and the belly dance, I had Meredith as my first teacher, and then Sandra. After it was about 5 or so years, I started teaching, and that came about through a group of mums at my children's primary school. They said, Ros, teach us. And we got a group together. I decided, well, if I'm going to do this, my husband said you need to have insurance. To have insurance, you've got to have a business name. So that all came about. And then, so that one group of mums, off we went. And so I went from there. The following year, Australia Day Parade, did a big launch, and just sort of gradually evolved.
So it actually started as a hobby, basically, and sort of just grew organically.
Yes, and I'd like to say I'd had a grand plan, but I didn't. It just was something that, yes, organically happened. I gave that first series of lessons, and then they wanted to keep going.
But how did you know that there were people who wanted to...
Oh, because I was doing the dancing myself, that sparked an interest. And actually it takes me back. At that time, I got roped into organising a school function, which was like a talent night.
Ah, here we go.
So
this is what I was looking for.
Yes, I pulled out the belly dance gear and danced at that. And actually Michael and I did a ballroom dance on that occasion too, at that event. So that's possibly would have sparked.
So that piqued interest, and
yes.
you got people asking you.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah.
Okay.
It's taking me back because that is, well, just Shimmying Flames is now into its 21st year. So
I know last year was the 20th
anniversary.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I'm doing this interview, because I wanted to. We talked about it. We didn't actually do it during the year, but anyway, we're at least doing it now. Okay, and so then it'd be evolved into a business, and it's really just grown every year, hasn't it?
It has. So I started off with that one class that was of a daytime, then that didn't suit people. Others got interested, so I thought, oh, okay, I'll start an evening class. And in that evening class, there were some mums and daughters came along, and then the daughters, they wanted their own class, so then I opened a teenage class. Oh, they had little sisters. So, all right, I'll open a children's class. So it has. It's just evolved. I didn't have that grand plan of...
Into that, did you start doing annual concerts?
Pretty much straight away. Annual concert, I'm trying to think. The first year we wouldn't have done anything. So 2004, literally 2005, started teaching. So it was 2004 with an official launch in 2005. So it was, I don't think we did anything that first year. Sometimes we did community events.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I was, with a group that I was hiring, I was renting space from a dance school, and she included us in their end of year show. So where we only had a couple of dances to do. Yeah.
You've just reminded me, I remember way back at Toorak College, you came in and did some demonstration classes. I remember that.
Yeah, I did over the years, and I've sort of dropped out of that loop now. I could probably contact them, but over those years I consistently went to the school, ran workshops, whether it be for the health program, dance program. The local schools, actually, most of them I've been to over the years. I haven't advertised. I could probably pursue that again.
So I do have one more interesting question. So with the concerts, it struck me as unusual the way... I've done a lot of work for a lot of different dance companies, and they always have their concerts in standard auditoriums. In your case, it's at the community hall, and you had it so that people, you had tables and chairs, and people, in essence, bought, it was like a picnic. They'd bring their drinks and their food, their snacks. So was that, was that something that developed? Was that your idea from the first place? Or
that was the way that we started. Our very first independent show was in a local dance school, and I grossly underestimated how many guests there would be, so everyone was crammed in, and the change room was less than adequate, but everyone managed. That formula, I'll say it's a formula, comes from the ballroom world. So with what I've been affiliated, so through the competition ballroom dance, which I'll show my age again, is about, I think it's been like a 37-year project, so well before the belly dancing. That's how they have their medal nights. And so they call it a cabaret. So, and it's really fun. It's fun for the audience. So I maintain that formula.
Yeah, it was unusual. It was unusual. That's why I was curious.
I say to the women, so it's, everyone can BYO. I don't sell alcohol. They can bring their own drinks. They bring their food, which is like their picnic. They bring their supper. And I say to the women, the more they drink, the better we look. So
I've got to say, the thing that impressed me, I'm the opposite of you. I'm not, the Middle Eastern music doesn't really do much for me. But the costumes and like some years, you just blow me away with some of both the costumes, the look of the costumes, and also some of the, I don't know what the proper term is, but some of the very clever, like last year, there was a situation we had two dancers and you had two different coloured, I can't remember what it was, but somehow you magically switched on stage. They were the Wings of Isis. Yeah.
Where they went from purple to gold.
Yes.
The magic trick.
And I don't know how the hell you did it, but it was really impressive. I think from a visual point of view, it is very impressive. Yeah.
Now that was using the Wings of Isis, which are a sunray pleated half circle with a stick on the end we hold up, and that was double wings. So they were dancing with two colours. So there was a very clever back-to-back where we raised them up and put them down, and then then they'd change.
It's a very stunning. The whole Shimmying Flames belly dancing thing is very impressive. So I'm going to try and keep this reasonably short, but so that brings us to this year, and you tied in with belly dance evolution. You want to do a short thing on that? Explain to me how that came about. And
Yes, that came about with a trip that I did to Maui. So I've had a lot of instructors over the years, and back in the days, again, show my age, where you could buy the VHS cassettes, that you'd play, to DVDs, and you could buy instructional DVDs. So I've always explored other instructors, because otherwise, how are you going to grow as an instructor yourself? So not only local teachers, I had someone mentor me when I first started teaching. I self-appointed, that person just got appointed by me, and I said, look, I'd like some help. So I went for lessons, things that I didn't feel like I had the skill for. I went to somebody more expert, so that it made the learning for my students faster. So in general, it was better. So one of my dance gurus, I'll call them, is Jelena Colano, and I've done a lot of her DVDs, her projects over the years, travelled interstate when she came to Sydney. And for my birthday, rather than having a big party, I said I'd like an experience. And one thing I wanted to do was go to her intensive. She calls it a retreat. It's not really. It has its moments, but it is an intensive in dance and well-being and everything. And that was in Maui, January last year. And we found that we were very like-minded. The way we approach teaching, the dancers, how we put our shows together was so similar, and the costuming, we're both very fussy about the costuming, and making sure that everyone, really it comes down to everybody looking as good as they can so they feel good. It's all about feeling good. So she said to me, how about, I'd really love to bring my Alice in Wonderland show to Melbourne. Would you consider hosting? So it'd be boots on the ground, she called it. So, and that involved, as she said, she needed somebody who knew the local community, could source the theatre, and basically be the boots on the ground to make it happen. So that's how that came about, was that 5 days in Maui, and towards the end of it she said, how about it? So, which was an honour, because that's putting a lot of trust.
I can imagine, being your mentor,
So, and then of course I recruited, I thought, this is going to be a really big project. And I didn't want to neglect my own dance school in doing that project. So I hooked in Pamela from Club Ricasa. So we co-hosted that.
I was wondering about that, so that explains that. Very good. Well, I believe it was a success. It looked stunning to me.
It was a great success. Everyone loved it. It was a different concept.
I up until I saw it, I couldn't get my head around thinking, how the hell do you do Alice in Wonderland in belly dancing? It's very impressive. It's as was explained to me, it's a fusion of Western and Middle Eastern. Very clever, very clever.
Combining a lot of styles. Jelena draws on people, as she says, she surrounds herself with people who are like-minded but who are skilled. So in that same way, that's perhaps what I do. I seek out people. Well, they don't have to be like-minded, but who've got skills that then I draw on. And both her and I, we don't claim to be Puritan. I've got that ballroom background, and so over the years I have fused belly dance with just about everything. And the students, and that's what you've seen when you've been filming.
One of my favourites, I Dream of Jeannie.
I Dream of Jeannie, that was my daughter's.
I love that.
Did that one, yes. And those costumes, again, they were amazing, weren't they? Which we made ourselves. We were involved.
Ros, I think, because I'd love to ask a lot more questions.
We could go on for hours.
Yeah, but I want to keep this reasonably short, so I think we'll wrap up at the moment. I have been recording Ros's concerts for, we were trying to work it out, Ros and I were talking about it, at least 15 years. I think it might be a bit more, but at least 15 years. And during the course of this, you would have seen, I'll put clips up just little short bits and pieces. I hope you don't mind me doing that.
Yeah, go for it.
And so you get an idea. Thank you very much. And look, anyone who's interested, I'll put Roz's contact details, the Shimmying Flames. You got a website? Yeah.
I do.
That's right. So I'll put Shimmying Flames website up in the notes down below. And yeah, please don't hesitate in contacting her. Thank you, Roz.
Yep, we should welcome, have beginner classes. The classes are fun and friendly, and people can progress as far as they would like, really. It's all a matter of putting in the hours with anything.
Well, I've got to attest, I've seen it. I've seen young kids, and I've seen, well, I don't know how old they were, but ladies who were well into their, senior years. Everyone. It seems to be very inclusive, so yeah.
It is inclusive. And I've had girls that started in children's class who are now, almost 20 years later, still dancing.
I'm trying to think, Samantha, would she be one of those?
Samantha is one of the early, I think she said this year's 17 or 18 years. Maddie is another one, started in children's class.
Wow.
A lot of them have been coming for 15 years.
Actually, just before we sign off, I'm assuming it's a very rewarding situation.
Well,
watching the kids go through and
it is, and actually, sort of before you wrap up, something that people say to me all the time, which I don't realise, and again, the Shimmying Flames has been an organic thing, and perhaps I should be more conscious. But it's what's happened is, of course, we have a community. And at times, it's been absolutely incredible how our belly dance community has gathered around people that have needed it at times.
Oh, wow.
Which, I say Shimmying Flames is more than just about a few steps. Really that support of each other that at times has developed. There was one occasion where someone was seriously ill with cancer, and dancers came from other classes who didn't even know this person and did things to help her, collected food for her, offered to drive her for treatments. It's absolutely incredible, so, and I'm really proud of that.
Real community.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Absolutely.
Really fantastic. Roz, thank you. I'm going to wrap up now. Thank you for watching, everyone, and until next time, see you later.